Hi, we're Ventura Rotaract.
Hi, we're Ventura
Rotaract.
Ventura Rotaract Club.
Ventura Rotaract.
I've been involved with the Rotaract Club in various projects early on in their formation, so I looked for an opportunity to kind of reconnect, and one of these projects came up and I decided to get involved.
You should come with us on a Rotaract build because it is super fun. You get to do construction, you meet some really awesome people, you get to eat good food, get paint all over you, get to run some saws, do a little hammering, try to put up big things up on the stories of buildings, and great people, lots of fun.
I still have a lot of paint on my pants and on my shirts,
Nice.
and I think there may even still be some in my hair, even though it was a few months ago.
So the part of the house that I did during the morning was I hung drywall, and then later in the afternoon I transitioned over to helping build a ladder for the water tank that was going on top of the bathroom and community center area. And both of them I really enjoyed. You know, the drywall one was really cool. I've never hung drywall before, so I got to work with a lot of tools and materials that I've never done with. And then the water tower was cool because it was a very central part of the community center, and it was gonna, provide plumbing and drinking water and cooking materials and all that. So it was really cool to see how the whole project was tying together, just with a few of the little things we were building.
It was very fun to see the city, the people, and the experience, the culture.
I've never done it before, but I've heard people talk about it, and everybody says it's really nice just to get down there and actually meet the family that you're helping out. I think just getting hands-on experience and working with the family and seeing who exactly you're benefiting is probably the most exciting part about it.
This is very much why I joined Rotaract. Not only are we helping with local events, but internationally, and that to me meant a lot about our selfless hearts and our excitement to go do what we do, which is go help others, no matter where or who.
To see firsthand the money that was raised at the Mexico build is something that was what made it more fulfilling for me. Because now I can see the family. I got to meet the family. I started a project and ended a project on the same day. So it's not, you don't feel like you start something, you leave, and you really never know if it gets finished.
This little girl came out of the house next door and started talking to me in Spanish, and I don't really speak Spanish, so I was trying to figure out what she said. She was asking me where her mom was. And then I realized that the house we were painting was her house. And so I walked her over to her house and found out her name was Jimena, and she is kind of like interacting with all of us even though none of us speak Spanish. And then she disappears into her house, and then when she comes back, she's holding this little teeny kitten that is like fits in my hands. And she walks up to us, and we all just drop what we're doing and go, oh my gosh, and we run up to her, and she lets us hold her little kitten, and she's so cute. We didn't know which one was cuter, the little girl or the little kitten. And she hands it to us, and I'm holding this little kitten and just crying because it was beautiful. And she's just sharing moments of her life with us, and she won all of our hearts. She was so cute, and it was really meaningful to be doing that. We knew that we were doing it for her instead of just a random person.
I've never been to an area that was that underprivileged, and it was really nice feeling leaving to know that I had helped provide something for them that they didn't have before.
Essentially, it is the volunteers who work with the crew, but as we were building, there were some locals who were walking by and they were like, hey, do you need a helping hand? And it was actually crazy because I was roofing the house with two of the local native women, and I don't really speak Spanish, honestly, and they don't speak English, but somehow we were connecting and vibing with that experience. And I was just sitting on a roof in Mexico doing this house with two women who didn't speak the same language, but we were just laughing and having a great time. So it's definitely rewarding. It's a great experience.
What I've found over the years of working with the youth in Rotaract is the fact that when we go on a build, when they come back, there's such a bonding that goes on there because of what they're giving back to the community. And I'm a general contractor by trade, so I build houses every day. It's not a big deal for me, but when I watch these youth go down there and build houses and turn over a whole house to a family that's never had a house before, it's very moving.
I'm the Interact liaison, so this was a good opportunity to go to do a joint project between Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact. And I have to say the people down there were just generally warm and kind and so inviting us into their homes.
The reason that I go to these builds year after year is because of Mexico specifically. I believe that, a lot of people think that an international trip means that you have to travel really far away, several hours on a plane. And the reality for us in California is that we have an international border 4 hours away from where we live. And I just believe it's really important to help our neighbors, and the people of Mexico are just as important as any other country. And I keep going back year after year because of the love that I've grown for this country and these people. And I want to keep fostering that relationship between our club and the Mexican people.
I didn't realize I was going to impulsively agree to interview the family. But I'm glad I did, because in the end, even though I didn't take into account the emotional factor of it, in the end it was very, very sweet to see how much she opened up to me. She was telling me about her kids and where they used to live up on a hill where they didn't have paved roads, where it made it really difficult for her husband to take her kids to school. She had heard of Corazon, which is when they had offered a program for free education for nursing. And that's where she took advantage and went for it, and that's during the time her husband had to step in and take care of the kids, and they were able to reward her with a house after all the community hours. She ended up telling me what I was mostly curious about, why she was leaving out some details about her husband. They're part of the family, and she kept saying how thankful he was that we were here but wasn't able to be here. But she then finally said that it was him on the phone, and that he wanted to let me know, to let everyone else know that he's very grateful that everyone's here. He wishes he could be here. And she hands over to me a little beaded minion that he makes from jail. He was in an incident where some other guys had committed a certain act that he wasn't aware of, and they took all of them into jail, and he hasn't had his case seen, he hasn't been to court, so that's what they were waiting on. He made a bunch of very sweet gifts for the group to have, and I thought that was the most surprising and sweetest thing. I couldn't even believe it, that it was in him and this family. We ended up hugging, and the sympathy was just like nothing I've ever felt before. Not to that personal level, I did not expect that at all. I wouldn't trade that for anything. It was great. It was great, and then seeing her family see what everyone had just built together, worked as a team to get it together for her and her kids. That's why I go back.
If you want to see the future of Rotary, go on with Rotaractors on one of their projects, because you'll see the energy and the commitment there, and it gives you a lot of hope for the future, not only of Rotary, but of our young people.